fuck, okay. That's better than all of them. Hello, so for this video I wanted to do a what I want to read this month, and I've already finished kind of two. I finished Only a Breath Apart by Katie McGarry. I started at the end of February. I finished it March 3rd. And then I started Corrupt March 4th, and I finished it March 5th, which is today. I'd like to do for reviews for those, so I'm gonna do that. But I was on my Goodreads account, and I gave myself, like, my challenge, 160 books this year, which is a lot. But I am really far behind. I've only read like 12 now, so I have 20 books here that I want to read. I don't really feel like getting super into them, but I'm gonna give them a little bit of backstory. Some of them I've had on my shelf for a long time, and others I haven't. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So the first book is Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. Amy her father has died in a car accident, and her mom has moved them across the country, but she doesn't want to drive the car, so Roger steps in, and I think this will be cute. Yeah, I'm gonna say that a lot because I'm really excited to read all these. Love and Other Perishable Items by Laura Buzo. I don't know. I actually forgot what this is about. This is one of those books that has been on my shelf for a very long time. So this one is about Amelia, who has a crush on Chris, and Chris is 21 and Amelia is 16. I don't know why I picked this up, but I did, so we'll read that. And then All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I don't know how to pronounce people's last names. I picked this up, I think, my junior year of high school because a friend recommended it to me, and I just never read it, and now the movie's out, so I want to read it. I believe this, I'm not really positive what this is about, but I heard it's really sad. Finch is fascinated by death, and Violet lives for the future. So I know it's a love story. A lot of these are love stories, so hope you guys like romance. The next is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. This is another thing that I was like, I wanted to read it. I watched like the end of this movie with my grandparents, and it seemed really good. So this is also, I believe, it is a memoir about her growing up with her alcoholic father and how they had an interesting life when he was sober as well, I guess, as well as drunk. I don't know. It's deeply dysfunctional, and her family is deeply dysfunctional and uniquely vibrant. So I'm excited to read this because I've never read a memoir, so this is a first. It's also not a love story. So next is The Duff, The Designated Ugly Fat Friend by Cody Keplinger. This is about Piper. I also bought this. I'm such a bandwagoner. I bought this after the movie came out. I didn't particularly want this cover. I don't like movie covers usually, but I thought this is the only one that they had, so I loved this movie. I thought it was funny. I've actually tried to read this a couple of times, and I don't think I could get past like chapter 3. I don't particularly think it's bad. I just don't think I was like in the mindset for this, but this is about Piper, and she gets called the Duff by Wes, and he turns her into not the Duff, I guess is a good way to explain it. I don't know. It's also me going off of the movie. So next is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. So this is about Calla Fletcher, who her mom fled Alaska when she was 2 to get away from her father. And now she's 26, lives in Toronto, and her father's sick, dying, I'm assuming. And so she goes back to Alaska to kind of fix their relationship, and she meets Jonah, who is a pilot. Yes, he's a pilot who helps her dad with his pilot company, charter plane company, his charter plane company. So, and he obviously doesn't like Calla, because why would he? You know, she's a city girl. I read You Still Love Me earlier this year, like January. It was like my 3rd book. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but I never like to judge a author by one book, so I picked these up at the same time. Then Christina Lauren, Love and Other Words. This is about Macy and Elliot. I love that name, Elliot. They were best friends, and they were each other's first love, and Elliot broke her heart, and now they are older and trying to repair it, I guess. It kind of sounds like Twice in a Blue Moon, but different. As well as Say You Still Love Me. So, let's see. Christina Lauren, I feel like for me, is like definitely a hit or miss. Like, I loved Roomies. I did not like My Favorite Half Night Stand. It's definitely that type of thing. So hopefully I'm not reading too many of this trope. Yeah. And then next is the Bromance Book Club by Lissa K. Adams. This is about Gavin Scott, and he is married, but his marriage is kind of in a rut. I don't know if she asks for a divorce. I'm pretty positive she probably does, but it's not on the back. And he goes to a book club where they read adult romances for only like men in struggling relationships. I think this is gonna be so much fun. Like, I'm super excited about this. I saw this at Target and I was like, come on. This is so, it's like the back of it makes me laugh. So that's what we're doing. Next is Would Like to Meet by Rachel Winters, and this is about Evie Summers, and she is trying to convince her client Ezra Chester to write a romantic comedy screenplay, and he's like unconvinced, like they don't exist, meet cutes, and she's like determined to convince him that they do. So this is just full of meet cutes, and I'm really excited about that too because I love rom-coms. So these two are probably like what I'm most excited for. And the next one is The Right Swipe by Alicia Ray. This is about Rhiannon Hunter, and she has created a dating app, and she meets Samson Lima through the app, I'm guessing, and they go out, it's wonderful, and then he disappears. And a couple months later, he comes back and tries to woo her again, and he's also with a business rival, so that sounds nice, I guess. I kind of like hate to love too, so that should be fun. Look, there's just a piling up. Next is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've tried to read this as well. I hope I don't have to explain this. I don't think I'm going to, because I'm not really, I mean, it's a love story. It's a classic for a reason. I have a tinier version of this, and I can't really read it because it hurts my eyes. And so this was on sale for 50% off at Barnes & Noble. They had like a classics sale, so I bought it. It's only $6.95, so I got that 50% off. I might have gotten it 60% off because I'm a member as well. But I mean, I love this movie with Keira Knightley. So let's read the book. The next is Dog is My Co-Pilot, and this has several writers. This is all about people and their dogs. They wrote these stories, I believe, to put in a magazine, and then they all put it in a book. I love my dog. My dog is my favorite thing. Actually, speaking of dogs, I'm going to get a puppy this weekend, so I think I'm going to vlog that, but I'm really excited to read this because I love dogs. Who doesn't love a dog? You know? I want to read about other people's dogs. I'm part of so many dog groups. Next is Tom Hanks' Uncommon Types, Some Stories. This is a collection of short stories. I'm not really positive what they're all about, so that's all I'm going to say. This one is Love on Lexington Avenue by Lauren Lane. This is about Claire Hayes. Her husband is not who she thought he was. So she's renovating her apartment, obviously, and she meets Scott, who is a contractor, and he usually redoes like swanky hotels and corporate offices, so he wants to do something different, and he decides to do her apartment. Probably do her too, but who knows. But so he starts working on her apartment, and then I'm assuming they start a relationship. So next is The Perfect Date by Evelyn Lozada and with Holly Lawrence. I don't know how to say Holly's last name. I'm sorry, Holly. So this is about Angel Gomez, and she became a mother at 16. So she works at a bar, and she's also in nursing school. So she works at a hospital too, I'm guessing, because she meets Caleb the Duke Lewis, who is a star pitcher for the Bronx baseball team. And he meets her at the hospital, and then he meets her behind the bar. She throws a drink in his face, and he's trying to keep a low profile. So they start something that is meant to be fake, which I love this trope too. So will it work out? Will they fool us? Fool the tabloids? So this is How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. This is about Tom Hazard, and he is 41 years old, and he's been alive for centuries. He hung out with F. Scott Fitzgerald and Shakespeare, and he is really good at not being noticed, like not being detected. So in this group they have one rule, and it's don't fall in love. So obviously after centuries of being alive, I'm pretty positive you find someone to fall in love with. And he meets Camille, and he obviously can't do that. So what will happen? Can he leave the group? I don't know. Will they stay together? Who knows? Not me. Not yet. Then next I have is Last, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This has also been on my shelf for a couple months. I picked this up when it came out, and it was really, if you lived under a rock when this came out, it was huge. Everyone loved it. So if you don't know what this is about Daisy Jones and the Six, and they're a group. They're a band, like 70s vibes, and this is like how they broke up in interview form. Not exactly sure what that's called, but I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I read Love, Rosie, and I loved that book, but I also didn't like the format of it being in letters. But I think this will be interesting to read. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look forward to reviews, not only on here, but on my Goodreads. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and comment if you've read any of these maybe, or if you want to read them. We can talk about it. Yeah, bye.